Hello and welcome to the Healing the Healer series, what I term the art of New Age healing. I've always wanted to have a conversation show, if I can put it that way. So YouTube happens to be the best channel these days to manage such. I've been encouraged by many friends to start a YouTube channel, and I never knew what I would talk about, so it took me a while to get to this point. There were many times where I would think of topics, I would think of concepts, and at the end of it all, they all link back to talking about myself, talking about my journey, and not forgetting the people that have walked the path with me, that have helped me to get to the point where I can comfortably say that I am taking a journey of healing the healer. And if we know anything about healing, then we would know that it never really ends. Just like every day our cells generate, every day there is a need for the body to heal itself, for the soul to heal itself, for the mind to think differently and generate positive thoughts. I am your host, Khosi Nkanyezi Buthelezi. I call myself a storyteller since this series will take you through a journey of my healing using different aspects of healing, looking at the different avenues where we can find healing, and having conversations with people that have helped me or impacted my life in one way or another. So you may be asking, who is Khosi Nkanyezi Buthelezi? I was born and raised in Johannesburg. I've been living in Cape Town for the past 6 years. I am so in love with the ocean, the sound, the view, the smell, the feel of the majestic mountains, and of course, what Jesus turned from water. Wine, wine, wine. I am a lover. I love life. I love everything fun. I love adventures. I'm what you call spontaneous. But most importantly, I am very much passionate about words. Words in all form. Think of a song. Think of a poem. Think about the books we read. I mean, even for me, paintings are an expression or an extension of words. When people create stuff, they start with thoughts, and for me, those thoughts may come in a visual form, or they may lend themselves there through word. Even the saying in the beginning was the word, and with those many words that I have come across, I am then building this series of conversations with many different people that have impacted my life in one way or another. I play a lot of what I call different roles. I'm a daughter, I am a sister, I am a friend, I'm what my friends have termed rich auntie. I wish I had the money to go with that term, but I am blessed. I am blessed. I am love. I am light. I am energy. I'm a higher source experiencing life in a body. I am a body housing amazing spirit. I've had the pleasure of acquiring skills as a facilitator, which is why I love facilitating conversations so much. And it gives you opportunities to learn. I am a life coach, a storyteller, and I'm lucky to have experienced or progressed in terms of storytelling to the point of being able to edit for independent writers. I'm a healer, and I know when people see healer, if I've seen some of the videos that you find nowadays of healers, then it's all these sangomas or all these ladies with Reiki energy, or the people that have crystals and tarot cards. But more than anything else, I am the healer of self, and I'm also the healer of others who have placed me in their path of healing themselves. So I'm not a person that would claim that I actually heal people. I'm there as a trigger, as a catalyst, as a reminder for some of the people that have placed me on their path of healing to reconnect with themselves, to have somebody as a soundboard that listens. I mean, though that I experience mostly when I do coaching, where I listen and I help people to leave that consultation having thought differently about their circumstances, their situation, and taking a deeper step into thinking about how they feel, what they think, and how they view themselves and the world in general. And in this world, or in this journey that took me to the space of looking for healing, actively looking for healing, I found that social media played a huge role, because social media is a great place or a space for us to connect with ourselves, to connect with other people. But what we find as well is that social media also could be a worse place if you're a person that is looking for validation, if you're a person that needs somebody to tell you how to be, how to behave, what your look should be like. I mean, social media gives us the idea of image, of what to feel, how to react to people. And those are the things that I find, as negative as it may come across, it really plays a significant role in being the mirror to our ugly scars. Think of Black Twitter, and I'll end it there. I joined social media to connect with people, to find friends, may it be new friends, may it be old friends, reconnect with schoolmates and loved ones. And it brought me so much joy and growth, and it gave me a platform to showcase parts of me, the parts of me that love taking pictures, the part of me that loves thinking about what the caption will be to a feeling that I've captured in a picture, parts of me that have tapped into writing, that have exposed myself to writers, that has given me the opportunity to be an editor. And some of the guests that you'll meet throughout the series in the platform are going to be people that I've either met through social media, or we have grown in terms of how we relate to each other because of the platform social media. I'm inspired by love. I'm inspired by passion. I think that we use words to express love, the love that we come with, the love that we feel deep within, the love that makes us who we are. And that's the beautiful part of word expression. And word expression also gives us the opportunity to express our fears, to look up to people, or because of people, it deepens our fears, and because of people, it helps us look at life differently. But in my case, I am inspired by the people who embody love, the people that work through their fears, the people that consistently work to find their truth. Not only to find it, but to live it out loud. Whether they do it through a song, through a poem, by painting, writing a book, running a workshop, hosting an event, coming up with a manuscript that ends up either being on screenplay or in a book. I'm just attracted by those people, their passion, their personality traits, their courage to live each day and be brave enough to say, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to put it out there, and I'm going to be open and willing to receive feedback. That is part of how I think we heal ourselves. I mean, a lot of things start with thought, and then the minute you express it for someone else to hear, there is that reaction that happens. There is positive reaction, there is negative feedback, there's criticism, but you're putting yourself out there, testing and checking on your belief system and growing from it. And those are the things that inspire me about people. And with adulthood, I've learned that people tend to disappoint, people tend to hurt your feelings, people tend to not be the picture that you have in your head. So in order to unburden the people that we always like to think, or how I was raised to look up to as somebody, in order to not place the burden of them carrying my dreams, I've decided to look at traits, to look at personalities, to look at how people live up to their truth, instead of aligning or assigning my inspiration to an actual person, and thinking about this as a point of departure. Then it's easier for me to dig deep within and motivate myself. I know that when we write up CVs, we normally say that I'm self-motivated, but it's a real thing. You need to be so close and so in tune with your inner voice that you're able to hear it when it moves you, when it tells you get up, when it tells you turn left, when it tells you turn your car in the third lane and you'll find parking, when it tells you don't go yet, when it tells you there's something wrong in this place. What sometimes we term as instinct, as a gut feel, it's what I call inner voices, and I listen and I let them motivate me to move. I let them motivate me to record a video even, and I let them motivate me or listen to the voices as I type the words that tend to a story. As I look at a picture or a view and decide which part of it to capture, it's that being in tune. I close my eyes and I literally listen to the inner voice. And I love the fact that if it doesn't come in a voice, it comes in a dream. So whether I'm awake or asleep, there's always the inner me that is working towards the next experience in this thing we call life. And it's in little things. I mean, for me, even when I cook, sometimes I cook food with the picture of what the plate should look like. Then I look for the ingredients that will make up the spaces and the things that I saw on that picture as I was imagining what my meal will look like. And then I'll have fun with it. And my friends always say that I always make meals into meals that went to Harvard. And it's an internal joke, but I don't know how to live any other way. And those are the things that keep me motivated. I spend a lot of time on different social platforms. I spend a lot of time there, not because I have nothing else to do. I spend time there because I'm looking for things that inspire me. I spend time there because my motivation is trying to picture what the end would look like, or come up with a concept, so I test out what other things are out there. I spend time online because I live alone, and it means that I still need to communicate with my family, with my friends. I make new friends. I read through online platforms. I post on online platforms. I use real life to create moments that I share with others online. So for me, there's always that balance of online and real life. And it doesn't help that I'm one of those that, love spending time on their own. I'm one of those people that love their own space. I love people. I definitely love people. They are fascinating beings. Their behavior is just worth watching, observing, and making note and creating stories about. But I also like my solitude, and at times when I don't really want the physical form in front of me, then online is the best bet to connect with people. I really find that in the journey for me to heal myself, there was a lot of things that were involved. I found healing in reading. I found a lot of healing in writing from the time of youth, where we would have what we call journals, and we had diaries, and putting your words and putting your thoughts into words, that is, then sitting at the end of the day and reading it through, even if it's a year or many years later. I think one of the nice things about Facebook is that whole memory on this day. And when I started off on Facebook, I used to write a lot. I wouldn't call them poems as such, but they were pieces of work. And I would write a lot. And you find that 5 years later, they really sound like letters to your future self. It's almost like you're going through something, and somehow your soul wrote something 10 years ago that it knew on this day. When you reread, it will have a different meaning. It will be the significant thing. It will be the word that you need to hear. Or even it could be that you needed to read that about yourself to see the shifts that have happened. So it's always been a great thing. Not always easy, but it's always a great thing to dig deep within, to introspect, to always be on this path of trying not just to find yourself, but to heal. I think a lot of us have heard how people say, I'm finding myself. And I think you're already there. You already exist. All you need to do is to allow yourself to remember. Allow yourself to take the time to recollect parts of yourself from everywhere that you've scattered yourself. To recall that person that you want or see as a version of your better self, or as a version of your better life. So the beginning always started with just expressing my feelings, expressing my thoughts. And as time went through, then I had different breakthroughs that spoke to now healing the parts of me that I've expressed, that I either found angry, that I either found sad, extremely sensitive, that felt like they were not enough. So one of the breakthroughs for me was my initiation. It really separated the person or the version or the image I had of myself, I totally had to submit to myself. I'm one of those people that believe that God is love and I am God and God is me. So every time I thought of I'm submitting to God in a higher meaning, in a more spiritual meaning, I have been submitting to myself. I had to bring out the person that listens, the person that feels, the person that hears stuff, the person that sees things differently. And it was not so easy. I mean, one of the things that came out from it, not just the initiation, but my journey of healing, was, for example, finally letting my beard just be. It took me a while before I would worry about what people say, how they look at me, what I represent. I need to have this corporate look. But the more I rejected my beard, for example, the more it grew. The more it showed up, the more it said, we here. We are your hair, we are on your face, but we are here for you. And you just have to accept it. And now I'm so comfortable with my beard that I actually sometimes get shocked when people react to my beard. I forget that it is on my face. Literally forget that it's on my face until someone points it out. And now I'm slower to react to people that point it out, because it's like a person that would come up to you and point out that, look, you have an eye. Like, okay, what am I supposed to say? I have an eye. Yes, but it's been a great journey. And I think one of the things that I also learned with the many things that I've been exposed to while facilitating was the fact or the concept of learning, unlearning some things, because you can't just keep piling information and knowledge. You need to unlearn certain things to be able to welcome new information. You need to start relearning certain things to be able to take them up as habits. So there's a lot that goes into healing, and this is why I think this series is key for me to venture into the different aspects that make up the art of New Age healing. So I'm here for it. And I'm really hoping that people will relate to the different guests that I have, because anybody who's got a story to tell will be able to relate, for example, to the hardships of getting over the fear, to share your story for the first time in whatever manner. Anybody who wants to write will relate to the writers that will be part of my guests, as they talk about their process of writing, as they talk about the platforms they use to showcase their work. I'm hoping that the space will also open up conversations and opportunities for consumption, be it you looking for a person to coach you in writing, be it a person that has always wanted to experience or explore methods of healing, and then the guest would give you information about what they do, how they use it, and how it can benefit. But overall, the theme of this series is about healing. It is about healing self, and I think coming up with the title of Healing the Healer, it's the fact that we have sayings like the doctor cannot heal themselves. I think the same applies to actual healers. They may be there to channel, to help, to give advice, to guide, but they also need somewhere to tend to. And because of that, we then need to find not just the one thing. So being a doctor doesn't mean that you'll always only be sick physically. There's other aspects of you that need healing, and you need to be able to know where to turn to. So the theme overall is the art of New Age healing, and the fact that sometimes you get stuck because all you know is the traditional or the conventional ways of healing. But you can heal yourself through writing your thoughts and reviewing them. You can heal yourself from writing and sharing that information, and then having someone else see or relate to your pain, or find someone else who will say, this is how I've been healed from this situation. You can come up with a song, you can tune into a radio station and just listen to those lyrics and feel a sense of peace. So there's many aspects to healing, and I'm hoping that the guests that are coming on would, in one way or another, add and contribute to the art of New Age healing, as I expected. So the process is that, because this is focused on my healing journey, I then realized that there's this huge gap between formulating the idea of coming up with a series, looking up the guests that I need to bring on, reworking the concept, drafting what it would look like. I mean, even the format that you see could possibly change down the line, but there's also that element of the process of healing itself. I think one of the things that I want to highlight in this series is the fact that there is no set process that is like 10 steps you are healing. You know, sometimes we have all these gurus that say 10 steps to healing your soul. What they forget to tell you at the end is that when you're done with step 10, you are done with the current issue. Now you must do it again, and chances are the again is not the 10 steps, but it might be 5, it might be 20, who knows. Listen to your inner voice. I think that's one of the things that I want to keep reiterating throughout. The things I treasure about the conversations that we'll be having is that it is a form of sharing information, it is a form of sharing knowledge, it is an opportunity for me to gain input from feedback, but also to gain and learn so much more, or unlearn some of my ways, as I get more information from the people that I'll be sharing with. So I'm really open and willing to hear what people say, to hear what people think, but also to hearing from people that I've always thought this, or I've always wanted to try this. I think that would be the greatest treasure, and it would add so much value to the engagement and the discussions. Feedback for me is everything, and I know that sometimes it's hard for people to express themselves. So that's why we, for example, on Facebook have inboxes. I've had people, lots of people that have inboxed me to say, I think the value I've found in social media is posting a picture of myself, for example, and then a person comes to say, wow, I hate taking pictures when I feel fat, and you make it look cute and fun. I have a beard and I spend so much time shaving it, and it makes me feel sad, but looking at you embody it so well and so comfortably makes me so proud. I think I'm gonna live mine, grow as well. Those are the things that I value about conversations. I value people that are naturally joyful, you know. I mean, happiness is an event thing. Something has to happen for you to feel happy. But joy is something that comes from within, and we need to create those spaces for ourselves. So I find value in people who show up with that energy of joyfulness, people that show up with that energy of courage, and they're willing to speak, be it in public, be it in private. But at the end of the day, I'm looking forward to the process of learning, unlearning, and relearning so much about myself, about healing, and about the people that I interact with. I'm hoping that the viewers and the guests will get to keep contributing to the growth of this series, influencing the look and feel, influencing the conversations that we have, influencing the type of engagements that we have. Right now, these sessions are recorded, but as I learn along the way, hopefully we'll get to a point of actually having these live. Because I've seen people that do live sessions and talks, and I have been off social media for like the past 9 months, but it doesn't take away the opportunity to support people that actually hosting such platforms or channels or talk shows. You know, there's people that do Instagram lives. I hardly see those a lot lately since I was off, but I'm back. I've deactivated my Facebook account, so I can't see the Facebook lives anymore. What other platforms are there that I support? I still have friends that run workshops or healing sessions via Zoom. I participate in those. I read a lot online, so Wattpad and visionary writings is my go-to space. Sometimes I then buy PDFs because some of the writers sell their PDFs. I also have my ghost name that I'm using on Facebook. So on a personal capacity, I'm no longer on Facebook, but as a ghost writer, I'm still on Facebook, very present to be able to write my story and continue with it. And in that space, or as my pseudonym, I then support the Facebook writers as well. And I read a lot. I buy books. I write, I edit for independent writers, or they call themselves indie writers. I consult some of the healers that I know when I'm in need. But mostly, including this series, I love sharing information and lessons and knowledge. I believe if we're thinking about healing, we may do a lot of it on our own. You know, I truly believe that healing is an individual journey, but it also doesn't happen in isolation. There is people that are out there that are there to support you, but also there are people that are out there just as set to remind you or to highlight to you the things about yourself that you need to heal. So for me, relationships are mirrors. They're there to show you parts of yourself that you don't see, whether they're good or bad, but they're there to bring out the parts of you that you either are not acknowledging or are not dealing, or we're just unaware of. So relationships are key, and my wish is that there are more relationships that are built from the series, from the people that come on as guests, but also for the people that view and react and comment. But it's all about, if I think of relationships, their main purpose is helping you do the inner work to get to know yourself better and get to a better version of you. And the benefits of healing, wow, shoo, there is so much. There is so much benefits to healing, and I found that when you ignore the parts of you that need to be healed, then they impact your life so badly. I recall, and this is what I shared, because there's a group that I used to run on Facebook. I called it Just Be. And one of the things that we were talking about was relationships with mothers and, well, parents overall. But there's people that we roughly say have mommy issues, and then most girls will say have daddy issues. But the point is, if your first soulmate is your parents, they will then either model the best on how to relate with others, or they could be then the thing that trigger the things that you need to sort out in yourself later on in life. And if we don't deal with those things, if we don't deal with our feelings, if we don't deal with the things that are hurtful, they have a huge impact in our lives. And until you do the hard inner work, you don't easily see the benefits. It's not always easy, but it's possible. It is very possible. I think I'm here to say that it is possible, because in life we never really stop learning. I actually think that when we're young and we go to school, varsity, attend courses, we're actually paying for life lessons. And now when we apply ourselves in our daily lives, we get paid to steal and gain life lessons. So the price changes hands, but the lessons remain. Until we die, we keep learning. This space is going to expose people that probably don't think about the point of healing in the manner that I'll be presenting. It will expose readers to some writers that they didn't know about. It will expose writers to readers that will be responding and commenting on this series. It will expose people that have been on a journey to healing, but we're looking for avenues on how to heal. It will expose different types of healing methods. It will expose different types of conversations to have, because my words and the guest words are not the be-all and end-all. It's just a starting or a seed that I hope to get planted out there, to get more people talking about means of healing, to get people to stop feeling guilty and feeling ashamed of healing themselves, but being open to actively developing themselves, to actively being present in life, trying out things, whether you are growing yourself by taking a course, and a course doesn't have to be always academic. Sometimes you can just take lessons or attend workshops that will help you understand yourself better. Sometimes it means reading up about your star sign, for example, to understand your personality traits. Sometimes it means that you go consult somebody if you want to know the hidden parts of you, just as you consult the doctor when you're feeling unwell. I'm hoping that it will get people in tune with themselves, and if that is the case, it means that I also need to keep learning to be able to share information. It means that I need to keep doing to be able to come back here and then be able to deliver a conversation. Just as the famous phrase says, I've gone through tests, and a part of the series is my testimony. And I keep moving I keep moving my energy. I'm unable to sit still. I think people always say that I have too much fun or I'm too active, but like I mentioned, that I have the inner voices. So if you have that, you want to have activity. If you're an energy person, you need to keep shifting. If you're a person that needs to be there for others that need healing, it means that you need to keep exploring. So I'm always willing to learn. I'm always willing to listen. I'm always willing to find out stuff. It is very, very key for me to find out stuff. It is very, very key for me to share, because I truly, truly believe that there's so much healing that is needed. There's so much healing that is necessary. A female child needs to heal. A male child needs to heal. Their parents need to heal. And it starts with those individuals, because they make up society. So if we're saying that society needs healing, it means that we need to start at the steps and changing a mindset one at a time. It's that concept of each one teach one. But you cannot teach me your pain. You cannot teach me your prejudice. You need to work on yourself to be able to show up in a space that I need to show up and assist me to heal myself. So I think overall, one of the developments for me, as the title of the series, is that healers need to heal. Healers need to heal themselves. It's not just about the question of who heals the healer, as in giving them a victim mode of, oh, healers are in trouble, or healers now, who heals them? No, but we need to, as healers, look at it as a sense of, if I keep touching and cleansing other people, it is very, very key, extremely important for me to consistently clean my space. I cannot carry dirty water and use the same water to help someone else cleanse themselves. So I need to consistently develop and grow in order to heal myself and be there and present in the lives of people that need healing through me. So there'll be different guests that are coming through. And it won't be just one aspect. So don't think of it as there's only going to be healers, there's only going to be writers, there's only going to be this. But I'm looking and touching on all things that when I reflect, I've realized that they gave me a sense of healing. They gave me a sense of self. They helped me reflect and introspect on my situation, my thoughts, my emotions. If I could, I would even bring in someone who sings and talk about their process of writing a song. So that would be, that is an ultimate vision. That is an ultimate goal as this space grows. But first up, since this is an introduction video, will be episode 1. And I'm talking to Gugu Kamashandu Sangweni. She is a Facebook writer. She's a storyteller. She is producing some PDFs that she's selling, and she is working on her first published book. According to the interview, she's almost at the end, so hopefully soon we will be holding the actual physical book instead of just reading on Facebook. But also what's next for the series will keep growing as I interview the people and introduce a new guest. But overall, I think, thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you for giving me the time, tuning in to listen, taking the time to comment, taking the time to like, sharing with your friends, calling on your friends to listen to and look at this bearded face. I think I want to thank you, even if this is just an introduction video. I want to thank you for partaking in a concept that I feel is bigger than I'm actually acknowledging. The voices in my head, in my heart, in my soul have been encouraging me to actually write a book, and I've opted to bring those chapters online visually as Healing the Healer, the series, because the book I owe my soul is actually called Healing the Healer. It is on chapter something, and one of the developments that I would like to see out of this series is that I will give it enough means and ways and angles to then really put the words on paper and write the book that I'm meant to write. But for now, tune in, like, share, comment, share with your friends, subscribe to the channel so you then get a notification of the next time I have a guest online. Until my next episode, I wish you well. I am sending you so much love and light. May God be with your soul, as you are always a part of Him. Aho.